We, as American citizens, have the right to know what is in our food. We, as individuals, are responsible for our personal health. As a company, we have the right to produce a product and the responsibility to make sure the product is safe for consumption. Where do these rights originate? How do they relate to our government, companies, and Americans in society? Rights are powers and privileges to which one has a just claim. The individual is the basic unit of society, and since the time of ancient republics, individuals have been understood to have certain rights. Americans exercised their First Amendment right, the right to petition. For the campaign, the right to know. For example, the Initiative 522 for the state of Washington. The right to petition dates back to the Magna Carta, which influenced our U.S. Constitution. When we talk about our right to know, we are exercising our individual efficacy, a right to gather, discuss, make changes for the betterment. People are continually working toward improving the standards of living by writing and enacting governing charters, codes of conduct for society. 2. Improving our food supply, health, and nutrition. The journey to improve the quality of life has its ups and downs, bumps, straight roads, and dead ends. Our responsibility to navigate these journeys with society's best interest is key to a better quality of life. Biotechnology started before the biotech industry, before the swapping of genes and confusion of how many proteins one gene produces. Before all of this, humans started farming, raising animals and saving seed, and over time, this became biotechnology.
Well, my name's Jim Rao. I'm a research scientist with DuPont Crop Protection. For much of history, people focused very much on plant breeding to really swap around very large chunks of DNA from one plant to another to really try to look for a desired effect.
In 1863, Gregor Mendel figured out how to crossbreed pea plants to find a new variety. In 1875, the first higher-yield hardy wheat-rye hybrid grain was created. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick determined the structure of DNA. In 1961, the USDA registers Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT, as the first biopesticide. In 1970, Norman Borlaug, the father of golden rice, started the Green Revolution and won a Nobel Peace Prize for his contribution to the world food supply. In 1973, Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer successfully transferred genes from one organism to another. In 1993, reincarnate bovine somatotropin, or RBST, a natural occurring protein, was reproduced using biotechnology and was used in cows to increase milk production. In 1994, the first whole food using biotechnology was produced and commercialized. This was the Flavor Saver tomato. Only after the FDA issued its advisory opinion on safety did they let them produce and commercialize it. In 1996, biotech varieties of soybean, cotton, corn, canola, tomato, and potato seeds are planted on 4.5 million acres across the world. Also in 1996, Dolly the sheep was the first animal to be cloned. In 2008, the FDA releases a risk assessment on animal clones and whether they are safe to eat or not, ending with that food from animal clones is as safe as any other food. In 2011, additional whole foods enhanced by biotechnology were submitted to the government for review, including non-browning apples and low-acromide potatoes. In 2012, researchers report that the first hypoallergenic cow, Daisy, has been genetically engineered to remove the protein that can trigger whey allergies in humans. Also in 2012, biotech crops are planted on 428.8 million acres by 17.3 million farmers in 28 countries. In 2013, Americans began to vote on whether to label genetically modified organisms or not to label them. Should we or should we not label GMOs?
And then several really big corporations who actually own the seed, so they have, very vested interest in having it not pass. They dumped a lot of money, not just a lot of money. I mean, proportionally, it's it's like $50 million or something in California, and it failed.
Now the question is why? Why did the big companies behind GMOs not want their product to be labeled?
The food labeling regulations in I-522 conflict with national standards and make no sense. It's so badly written that pet food would be covered, but meat for human consumption would be exempt. I urge a no vote on 522.
If you believe that GMO is the thing, then if it's labeled, then you can say, I want to buy GMOs because I believe in it. And then instead of having someone else have to pay for something they're not putting in. And if it's such a great thing, why would you not label it?
Important news from Consumers Union.
After extensive research, we endorse 522 as the right choice for Washington consumers. It provides clear, useful information and should not raise food prices. 522 is well written and makes sense.
64 countries already label with no cost increases. The 522 system works worldwide. Don't be fooled by false attacks. Pet food not labeled, meat and dairy labeled. More information about the food you eat. Yes on 522.
So that we can distinguish ourselves, we have to say that we don't use it, which is kind of it's like backwards labeling. Really what should happen is whenever you do something to a product, you should say what's in it or what you did.
Which is exactly what a New England dairy farmer did by labeling his milk as growth hormone free. Monsanto sued them in the court case Monsanto versus Oakhurst, claimed of unfair competition by labeling what's not in the milk, leading Monsanto's customers to think that something was wrong with the milk produced with hormones. In court, Oakhurst was validated by the First Amendment, which protects truthful statements. Are there health risks of consuming GMOs?
One of the lines they're using a lot is they say that, that you just don't believe in the science. Well, we're engineers. It's not that I don't believe in the science. Personally, I feel it's not been tested.
In my part of the business, the crop protection chemical side, to bring one new product to market typically costs over $200 million and take 10 years of testing to do that.
As a pesticide that they add as a GMO, and it destroys the gut of the bug, and then they are comparing that to kids who have what they call leaky gut, and that's new, it never happened before. And so what they're trying to say is that you spray something on and it's just going to kill all the bugs and it's only going to support the plant. But in reality, we're all connected, so the likelihood of it affecting us, yes, the jury's still out, but I would say it's very likely.
The dogma, the paradigm is one gene makes one protein. And in 2002, when the Human Genome Project was completed, it was very obvious that that dogma is not valid. The paradigm that we're basing genetic engineering on is wrong. It's a misunderstanding. The new science, the new paradigm is one gene makes a lot more than one protein. And that's very important because you have no control where it goes. It's random.
Again, there's not been enough testing.
Citizens have used their First Amendment right driven by their moral responsibilities, which is what started our chartered rights, the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, and the right to petition. They have done this through lawsuits to identify what is not in their product, as is shown in court case Monsanto versus Oakhurst. Also, they have gathered petitions and voted on Initiative 522. Could exercising our First Amendment right change large agriculture businesses? It seems that it just might be having an influence. As stated in Wired February 2014 article, Bred to Perfection, when it comes to fruit and vegetables you buy in the store, genetic modification is off the menu. Monsanto thinks no one will buy Frankenfood, so the company is tweaking its methods. As research scientist Jim Rao stated, creating a new product can take up to 10 years or more. We, as American citizens, have the responsibility to exercise our rights and be active in our community.